Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Brace Yourself podcast. My name is Ben Beaumont. I'm here in London, UK, and I'm joined by my co-host, Simon Boyes. He's in a mangrove swamp in Queensland. Simon, how are you doing, mate?
Good, thank you. Good to be here. It's been a big week, Super Bowl week this week. Mighty Seahawks represent. Happy to be alive.
Mate, it's been a great sporting week. I don't know if you've noticed the medal table at the Winter Olympics at the moment, but you guys are doing exactly the same as Great Britain at the moment. Neither of us have got any medals of any kind.
Every time I talk to you, you whinge about how cold and wet and miserable it is over there, and there's snow and ice and all sorts of stuff. What's your excuse? We live in the middle of the ocean. We got no snow. We got no ice. At least we got an excuse.
Well, I mean, I'll take the draw now. It's better than we did in the Ashes. So we can't be complaining about that. We'll see how we get on at the end. I noticed New Zealand are in front of you, which you can't be too happy about that, but probably less said about it, the better. Anyway, it's great to have you along, mate, as ever. This is the Brace Yourself podcast, the best scaffolding podcast in the world for people who love scaffolding, hate scaffolding, and people who just wonder how on earth scaffolders do what they do and make it look so easy. Listeners, you can expect interesting topics, some expert analysis, and the hosts and guests thinking they're quite funny sometimes, I think. And speaking of which, Simon, you not got your funny T-shirt on this week. What's going on there? You kind of dressed quite normally, if I'm honest.
I've got two T-shirts that I own. That one was in the wash. I wore it yesterday, so I'm on to this one. That one will be back tomorrow.
Okay, so without further ado then, Simon and I are talking about fashion and sport, which we do quite a bit, as you can imagine. We both have two T-shirts. Which sport or the fashion?
Both.
So this week we are here to talk all about ScaffChamps 2026. It's an amazing event, a global scaffolding event. It's been multiple years now, getting better and better and better. And we are here joined today by some great guests to talk all about it and do a preview and look ahead to this year's event. It's going to be fantastic. So without further ado, let's go ahead and meet our guests. We have got joining us from ScaffChamp HQ in Lithuania, we've got Oleg Abramov and Ilya Kornienko from ScaffChamp. Thank you, guys. And we've also got, for their second appearance on the Brace Yourself podcast, Ross Brown and Robbie Andrews, who are bringing a unique team to this year's event, never done before. So, gentlemen, thank you for coming and joining us on this year's event. Robbie, Ross, I feel like we've got a bit of a 2-for-1 deal here, lads, smashing us out. So you guys have obviously got nothing better to do, and we really appreciate your time. Thank you so much. Oleg, why don't you, I'll come to you first, and Ilya, why don't you quickly tell us what is your role at ScaffChamps? What do you guys do? So Oleg, could you tell us, what do you do at ScaffChamp, mate?
You can start, Oleg.
Yeah, so hello everyone. So thanks for inviting us to the podcast, first of all, yeah. And answering just your question, what I'm doing in the ScaffChamp. So I'm the head of operation of the ScaffChamp. So basically I'm responsible for like everything in the ScaffChamp, yeah, besides the rules and maybe and the referees, which is Ilya actually responsible, and he will answer it, yeah.
And how long have you been involved in ScaffChamps, Oleg?
From the beginning, almost from the beginning. So it's from 2019.
Nice, awesome. So, Ilya, what's your role at ScaffChamps, buddy? Tell us all about what you do.
Yeah. First of all, thank you guys for inviting. It's a pure pleasure to spend time with you, and I'm so excited to talk with you about ScaffChamp. And so just briefly, my responsibility is the design of competition structure and referee team organization. So I try to bring more fairness to ScaffChamp and to make design of competition structure more interesting for you guys and more competitive for our participants.
Nice.
Awesome.
So for
Oleg,
our
you've
listeners
been
that
involved since right at the very beginning. So for somebody who's never been to ScaffChamps, never heard of ScaffChamps, don't even know what it is, they're sitting at home thinking, what are these guys even talking about? In your own words, in very short, less than 30 seconds, how would you describe ScaffChamps to somebody who's never even seen or heard of it before?
I would say actually right now, after some this year past, I would say it's the unofficial sport for scaffolding, for scaffolders, yeah, who gets the design and they need to build the scaffolding within given time and they are watching by the referee. So there is like, it's like, I couldn't explain what was football, yeah, in 30 seconds because it's like complex sport, yeah. It has different rules, different styles, the same for the ScaffChamps. So it's like more than 30 seconds, but I think I just wrapped it somehow so you can understand, yes.
nice.
Yep.
Hey, why don't we do the same
I think
question
you
for
call
everyone?
it the scaffolding Olympics while we're on the Winter Olympics. And we've got the Summer Olympics in Australia in 2032. I might have a chat with them and see if we can get scaffolding recognised as an official sport.
Should be.
Why don't we do the same question for everybody? So you guys, Ilya, Ross, and Simon, you've got 30 seconds or 2 sentences, and let's go with the question. What is ScaffChamps for you? How would you describe it? So let's start with Ross, because you're a veteran of ScaffChamps. You go first, mate. How would you describe ScaffChamps? What is it?
A mass gathering of testosterone-induced males that like scaffolding.
We didn't mean literally, boy. It is. We've got to encourage people to come, buddy. You know.
Oh, was
I'm
a sales pitch or a? Come back to me.
Simon, how would you describe ScaffChamps?
I think Ross's description was actually quite good. I mean, a 2-day event, day one is all about networking. There's a lot of individual events there. They've got the arm wrestling and tug of wars and obstacle courses and all sorts of fun things that promotes healthy competition across scaffolders and people from all over the world. So I think that is quite a accurate description, Ross. And then day 2 goes into, as we said, the Scaffold Olympics, see which team's going to be crowned world champions. And yeah, that's my take.
So Simon's phone looks like it's overheating. First technical issue of the session. It's funny, isn't it, how he says short 30-second answer and then gives us a 2-minute answer, and he complains to me about talking too much. Ilya, how would you describe ScaffChamps, buddy? What is it for you?
Actually, we've got a really good description from Simon and Ross, but I just would like to add something. I joined ScaffChamp team 3 years ago, and from the very beginning, I realized how much work is done behind the scene. Really, a huge amount of work, and Oleg does an unbelievable amount of work, and you can believe me. And as for me, the main our goals is to promote safety, really. And as you know, most of our audience are scaffolders, obviously. And I think when they watch the ScaffChamp, doesn't matter in Vilnius or through live stream, they're like, oh, these guys, participants, build scaffolding at ScaffChamp under time pressure, and they still follow rules, safety rules. I mean, maybe tomorrow when I come to my workplace to build the scaffolding, I will follow those rules too. So the main goals is to promote safety, skills, passion, like that.
Nice. So, Robbie, question for you before we get into the main topic discussion and learn more all about this. Having heard all that and someone that's never been before, how does it make you feel? And what are you looking forward to having heard that intro?
I've heard loads off Ross, and obviously you see a load online, and I was close to going last year, but something else come up on it, and the time frames didn't work out for us. But I'm just looking forward to seeing the whole setup, because Ross has given me so much info about it anyway, and as obviously we see so much on YouTube and especially on LinkedIn as well from Oleg as well.
This episode is powered by Leeches, the one-stop marketplace for the scaffolding and construction industry, with over 30,000 product lines in their online store. They've got everything you need to deliver your project to industry-leading standards. And as a customer for the last 20 years, I know they get you what you need when you need it. If you head over to their online store at leeches.com, be sure to use the discount code Brace Yourself for an exclusive 15% discount as a thank you for being a subscriber to this show. Okay, everybody, let's now get into the main topic for today's podcast and talk all about ScaffChamps 2026. First, we're going to hear all about the event and get right into the detail with Oleg and Ilya, and obviously Simon and Ross and Robbie, you guys all contribute too. And then we're going to hear about it from Ross and Robbie's perspective and hear what they're doing to bring their unique team to this year's event, which will be super useful for any other teams that might be thinking about coming in the future and give you a real insight to what it's like to prepare and plan to go to ScaffChamp. Okay, so Oleg and Ilya, you guys did a really nice introduction, but why don't we just do a little bit of a step-by-step what happens on each of the days at ScaffChamp, because it's a 2-day event, right? So what's the first day all about, Oleg?
So actually first day is, how we say, the introductional day, because the main rule of the ScaffChamp, teams doesn't know what they're building, what they will assembly during the competition. So we are doing the introduction of this only the day before, so on the first day. So we are giving away them the design, and during the first day they have 24 hours to study the design and to prepare for the next day. And of course, if we speak about the first day, so it depends. If you are a scaffolder, then you have lots of entertainment like arm wrestling, or we're thinking this year about some new entertainment with the scaffolding, like you will have a long ledger and you will need to attach the base collar on the standard. I forgot on what you need to put it here, and you need to balance. So probably we'll think some competition also with this long base plate when you need to spindle to remove the spindle to the bottom by the time. So also I know some partners are also will have some entertainment there, but the first day is like introductional and like for understand what is the task will be for the scaffolders, and for other people just to have time and to speak before the event.
Nice. Perfect. So Ross, how would you describe the first day? Because you've been there a few times when the excitement's there and the buzz and all the crowd and stuff like that. How would you describe the first day from a person attending rather than an organizer?
The first day, on my first occasion going, the first day was good to actually see the scale of it. You don't really, I never knew initially before I went, seen it online, didn't really know the scale of it. But when you turn up and you see, obviously, the size of the field and the effort that goes into set up the structure, it is basically like going into a large music festival with all the structures all set up. They've got the sort of like armoured tank personnel carrier with the DJ booth in it, and the tunes are playing and all the tents are set up. And it's almost like, as you know, you don't know what it is, and that you start to see the effort that goes into that. And for the most part, the Friday is more of an icebreaker session for all the guys, the teams to like get to know each other, as well, who they're up against, and basically break the ice and have a bit of chat in between the different teams. And then obviously there's the sporting events that go on, which is a bit of the macho camaraderie and stuff like that. But then the silence when the drawing's released, because I mean, not a lot of people know that the drawing probably gets released about maybe say 2 or 3 o'clock on the Friday, and that's when it's like, do you go on the lash or do you not go on the lash and concentrate and absorb the drawing, or do you just throw the drawing away and go on the drink and then see how you do it the next day? So yeah, it's good.
Nice. So,
and it's always good fun.
There's just something you just said there that I'd like to ask Ilya about, and you talked about the design. Hey Simon, I'm going to come to you in a second about how we communicate the design to the team. But Ilya, could you tell us? Obviously, it's the same structure, right? That all the teams have to build. So, how do you come up with what that structure is?
Yeah, actually, a really big team work on design. For example, one of the biggest friends of ScaffChamp, Martin Dolker, he's a part of technical team which designs the structure. Warmest regards to you, Martin, if you're listening to this podcast. Yeah. And so it's a really, really hard work, because you guys have to understand, we have to surprise both of the teams and the spectators. Structure have to be interested for everyone and have to be challenging for professional team, because as you know, we grow, team grow, everyone grow, and we have to surprise all of them. So and to be honest, we start preparing the next ScaffChamp as soon as previous one ends at the next day, really. So, and always we start with designing of the structure. So, and we try to use some innovative scaffolding system, like you saw last year, it was FW system. It was super challenging for the teams. And, it's like we came up with a lot of ideas, a lot of different engineers work on design, and we try to find the best option for the year, because it should be better. We strive to improve everything, and design as well.
Perfect. That's an excellent introduction. So Simon, obviously, you've been involved in ScaffChamp for longer than I have, and ScaffPlan, which is yours and I day job, has an active role at ScaffChamp. So could you just tell us how we take that design, and obviously the key bit is communicating it to the teams and the effort that we go to kind of make that as effective and as successful as possible, and the kind of technology that we use?
Yeah, for sure. I think it leads on nicely from Ilya's point in terms of, best practice and safety and all of the positivity around the industry. And, design has changed and evolved so much over the last 10 years, and probably even more the last 2 or 3 years. So, being able to bring that level of innovation and quality to ScaffChamps, in my opinion, is the pinnacle of all of the scaffolding events around the world. So, being able to, like I said, bring that technology evolution to that event, showcase it on a world stage. So rather than just creating 2D PDF drawings, what would have happened 5-10 years ago, we're now the teams will get a QR code. They'll be able to scan a 3D model. They'll be able to see every component, every connection, everything all in a live 3D model. So that way there they can use that. They can plan out all of their installation sequences. They can work out what materials are needed for what sections. They can split it out into phases. And the best part of it too is all of the people at the event can just scan a QR code. They can see the exact same live 3D model that the teams can, and it's really interactive. And I think it's just a great example of bringing technology to already world-class event.
Nice. I mean, one of the most memorable moments from 2025 for me was the reveal of the design, because all the teams want to know what they're going to build, right? They all want to know, what have we got to do tomorrow out on the field? And Ross, I'll come back to you if I may. Describe, because all the teams are gathered in a big marquee, right? They're all in a big tent with a big screen. Can you kind of describe the atmosphere for us there as the teams are kind of waiting to see what they're going to build? And then as soon as we do the reveal, what do they all start doing? Because it's a kind of interesting, an interesting environment, right?
So it's like the marquees obviously set out with like big picnic benches. It's like a German beer festival. And obviously the bars open all day as well. So there's been those who have consumed a lot of beer and those who haven't consumed a lot of beer all mixed together. And then they obviously do the big countdown, and there's like an MC guy on the microphone and the DJ's playing the tunes, and then the countdown's on the big screen, and then the ScaffPlan drawing appears, and then there's all the whooping and shouting and beer getting thrown around and stuff, and then there's the hush, and then you can look around and you see the teams that are sitting there studying it straight away and quiet, and then you've got the other teams that are quite boisterous and stuff, and then it's like that's exactly when the sort of whooping and shouting starts about, who's already, people are already thinking they're going to win, so and then it kind of goes quietly eerie when they think they realise the one last year amalgamated so many different systems. So they had the flex beam, the FW system, I think the Twix beam was in it, and it had the T60 shoring system. So they were sitting there looking at it like, and a lot of guys, some of the teams are not historically, they're not later companies. A couple of the teams that came in last year were, I think, was it maybe 2 years ago, the team came from Mongolia, never used the system before. And then, so they were obviously super tuned in and then you've got the guys who are just like, every daily layer system users that have used the components before. So it's new and old to people.
Yeah. It's what I found interesting was how the atmosphere completely changes, right? You go from party atmosphere, everyone having a crazy time, and the DJ's playing, and literally about 30 seconds later, everyone's it's gone like to a school exam. You know what I mean? Everyone's around their iPads and got their phones out and stuff like this, which, hey, so Ilya, this year you said to me just before Christmas, you said, just after Christmas, you said, hey, Ben, this year we're doing no paper. We're going proper digital,
exactly,
proper technology. So tell us about what you're thinking there, my friend, and what it's going to be like this year.
Exactly. First of all, I would like to say we couldn't do our design, our detalization without you guys, without ScaffPlan. So you guys bring our design to perfection, really. And as far as I know, teams have never had any questions to drawings and something like that. But this year's we decided to detailize everything. So no more paper drawings. Go green. Let's save trees. So we have the following idea. Each team have to bring their devices like tablet, like phone, like laptop, or even Apple Vision. Yeah, no, I'm joking. Apple Vision is not allowed. It doesn't follow safety rules. So yes, and we also collect every year. We collect some feedback from our participants, and we notice that most of the team use any devices like phone, tablet, and so on. So I think this is the best decision, and I think you guys from ScaffPlan, you obviously will help us with that part of preparation. Thank you, guys.
And also in addition to Ilya's words, also why we decided to move on digital design is we can see how much time the team captains spend time when they are trying to figure out in which section they right now are. So, and the people who use the tablets, they have much more advantage because they have sequences which they can just use it and just can see in which stage they are right now, and they don't need to find out. And for example, the people who came to the team captain, he just shows him on the tablet, look, we are in this place and we need to put diagonals here, standards here, twigs beam here. So they understand this much more faster, easier, yes, and it's not only like more time consuming, if we say, and let's say it's like 21st century, and we need to move on for more digitalization. Yes, so that's why.
Nice.
Also.
So I just want to ask one quick question.
Sorry,
Ilya, can I just ask you one quick question, if I may? Because I want to then go and talk to Ross and Robbie about their team. But I wanted to ask you, how do the teams win? So give us an overview of the main rules. And if I want to win, what have I got to do? Because it's all time-based, isn't it?
Yeah, you know, I think the best piece of advice will be like, just take your time, follow the safety rules, because you know a lot of penalties teams get because of violations. So just follow the rules. Like every year, we are going to send you guys the super detailed guidebook, what you need to know to win ScaffChamp. Just follow these rules, just follow the safety, and you will have all the chance to win the ScaffChamp 2026.
Nice. Cool. That's it's really great. I mean, one of the things I realized is sometimes going slow is actually going fast, because you need to be quick and efficient, but you also need to be safe and accurate, right? And I think I think that's really important. It's not just about doing it as quick as you can. You've got to do it in a controlled and safe way. And the team that get the balance right seems to be the team that wins, right? So
yeah, and it's really interesting to see that there's different tactics from different teams. You see some teams come in and they just go a million miles an hour, and they're running around and they're throwing equipment and they're going crazy. And then you've got the teams that are just going nice and slow and steady, like a well-oiled machine. And quite often it's the teams that are going slow and steady and just in a controlled environment that actually do really, really well. So two very different tactics, two very different results.
And actually in entire ScaffChamp history, there wasn't any champion team who was the fastest one.
Yeah.
Wow.
Always the fastest teams gets the most penalties. For example, last year the fastest team from Hungary, but they got some penalty time and they won, I think, bronze medal.
Yeah, more than 5 minutes penalty time.
I think more, 12 minutes something.
Maybe even more.
So all our advice, for example, for the new teams, for the teams who hasn't even participate this year, don't rush, don't run, don't start fast, just don't lose your head. Focus. Don't look to the other teams. The other team could put the flag already and you can be somewhere at 75%. It doesn't matter, because probably they could have a lot of penalty time. Yeah, I know it's really disbalanced teams when they see that other team put it flag and finished. Yeah, and for them, everything starts to be like they already started. But rewatch how the last year's champions from Lithuania company RNDV did everything. They were just like robots. They didn't watch everything from the side. They just did what they did.
You know I'm talking to you. What are you doing right now? Get your ass over to scaffplan.com, check out all the features, watch a demo, download a free trial today, and see how ScaffPlan will absolutely transform your operations. Get there now.
Nice. So we're talking about teams, so this is a perfect segue for us. Let's now move the conversation over to Ross and Robbie, because which one of you guys wants to take this? Because I'd be interested to know what you say. But how did you come up with the idea to bring your specific team to ScaffChamps this year, and tell us about what is unique about your team at this year's event?
Do you want to go, Ross? Or
I'll lead it off if you want, Robert. Yeah, so I was there last year watching the first time a UK team had been represented, and there's always been an Irish team over, which has been pretty good to watch as well. And I was just watching it, and at the same time in the background over here in the UK is the NESC and the scaffolding industry, and it's people have been saying that there's a real lack of young people wanting to come through the industry. So as I'm there standing watching the UK team, and I'm sitting there thinking, right, there's quite a lot of pressure on them because they did tell everybody they were going to win it before they even left the UK. So I was sitting watching it all, and I thought, you know what would be good is to try and see if we can put a team together and to try and prove the UK scaffolding industry wrong, that there are young guys out here that want to work. They're good quality. They are committed, and generally just carry themselves well. Let's try and put a team together fully based off apprentices. So I reached out to Robbie and I says, look, this is what I'm thinking about doing. I could either put it out to everybody in Scotland and we can see if we can just get a Scottish team, or do you want to split the team, half from the NI and half from Scotland? We'll see what we can do, either if it's made up of our own company guys or if we just open it to the market. So we had a bit of a chat of it, and the whole lot about it is there's no pressure. The apprentices have got nothing to prove to anybody about where they finish in the table, other than the fact that they make their work, they work safely, they're committed to it, and they're having, most part is having fun while they're doing it, and actually showing them because that there's a bigger industry out there than just what goes on in this one of the smallest islands in the world, the United Kingdom. It's a big world out there, and the scaffolding community is huge.
Nice. So what did you think, Robbie, when Ross proposed that idea to you?
I think we were in Manchester at ScaffX, weren't we, Ross?
Yeah.
I think we just come off doing like a talk about apprentices, and I think we're both that sort of passionate about bringing younger ones through, that we come out and Ross said, listen, I've got a good idea. And I said, right, okay. I said, is it not maybe a bit daunting for the younger ones to go to it? And he says, well, as he just said there, there's no pressure on them. And it gives them a bit of an insight as to what's actually out there. Yes, we probably could have put a team together of more experienced people, but as Ross said there, I mean, it's better to give the younger ones that are coming through a bit of a chance to show what's actually able to be done. We've actually got a girl in the team as well. I don't know if that's ever been done before. I think it has. Has it been a girl at ScaffChamp before?
Yeah, we had a woman in ScaffChamp, but so I think it's
that's
like
cool.
shouldn't be something like special. So I think it should be like a tradition. So So we even like we had, if it's like somewhere in the future, it's good to have even a team full of women, for example, to compete. Why not? Why not?
So
I think it's an amazing.
What have you been doing so far?
Initiative, and I credit you guys. It's a big cost. There's a lot of money and a lot of planning and everything goes into it. So I really commend you guys. And you talk to anybody around the world, everybody complains about the same thing. There's global labour shortages everywhere. There's all of the best scaffolders are getting later in their years, are leaving the industry. They're struggling to attract younger guys to the industry. So putting together a team of apprentices creates a bit of a pathway for these guys to come through and show that, you're not just putting one piece of steel on top of another chasing a wall. There's actually a pathway here, and there's an opportunity to build a career and go and travel the world and experience the scaffolding Olympics. So, mate, take my hat off to you guys. Congratulations. I think that's a great initiative, and I'd love to see it happen more and more in the future.
Yeah, I mean, we're hoping that the outflow of this is the more people in the same age group of the team are going to see the videos, and it might get them interested in it as well, because I've spoken at loads. I go around some of the high schools and speak and do careers days and stuff like that as well. And I usually take a big screen and I'll put all the I-Scaff YouTube channel up and I'll show the work that we do. And the amount of people that walk past us and say, you don't scaffold houses, you don't scaffold properties. And I'm like, no, we do bridges, infrastructure, oil rigs, wind farms. the only time a lot of these young people see scaffolding is when they're walking to or from school and they're walking past a house or a building that's getting a renovation. They don't see the bigger picture. So I think that them seeing that these young guys and girls that are the same age group as them are getting this opportunity to get in an industry where you will forever be in employment as long as you want to be working, and the opportunities that you'll get to see around the world. And then when they arrive in Lithuania and they see teams from every corner of the continent in the world, you know, coming together, it's just going to be, it's, the UK is very, a bit like, Ben will know this as well, and so Robbie, it's like, you've got the macho scaffolders that are like, you're going to do this, it's going to be, it's not cool, it's whatever it is, and all this sort of stuff, the macho scaffolderness, and it's starting to, people who embrace not worrying about what other people think are the people who always come out with the best outcome.
Yeah, 100% agree with that.
So what have you guys been doing? How have you been putting your team together? What has your plans been so far, and what are you doing between now and the event?
We done some like time trials over in Northern Ireland with a couple. We put it out to everybody, as Ross said there. We only had one other company come forward with three apprentices, so we had to do time trials between 5 of them, and then we managed to get 4. We've taken 4 from Northern Ireland and 3 from Scotland. We're taking a sub just in case something goes wrong, or something happens to somebody, so at least we're covered. But we've done that, and we've also done a massive drive and begging to people to sponsor the younger ones, you know. And me and Ross have said from day one, like it's open book, you know. You can see where the money goes. It's not to fund me and Ross to go. It's just to fund the apprentices. It's to fund the experience, if you like. And then obviously at the end, if there's any money left, then we can maybe look at doing something again next year, or we can do something decent with the money.
Yeah, when we started putting our cap in hand and starting to go around the industry came together really well. We've got some Scottish companies that just seen it on LinkedIn, and they just sent a message saying, look, we don't have an apprentice, but we're more than happy to pay for one. So we sat and worked out the individual costs, and we basically put a general consensus on travel, accommodation, a daily food fund. What we want is each apprentice to come and have this experience at absolutely no cost to themselves whatsoever. And it even went as far as going back and having conversations with their employment company and saying, look, you know, if you can't support them financially to go, we're going to get the funding elsewhere. But will you at least support them and allow them to have the time off work still being paid, not having to use their holidays? Will you be happy to support some extra additional training, which is going to benefit them as well? You know, Lear are kindly putting on the Lear official SSPT training that's going to go on their scissors cards. They're hosting it down at Letchworth. Lear covering all those costs. But all I wanted to do was the employers, I said, look, if you're not sponsoring them financially to come, I'll get the funding elsewhere, but at least support them the additional training days. It's going to benefit your business. So it gives them, it gives an apprentice to get a chance to feel that they're getting, you know, appreciated, supported through their journey, personal development, confidence, and camaraderie and all that sort of stuff. So the industry's been really good. Like Robbie said, it was open book. So the bank account was set up. It's in a shareable format. The statements can get sent away so they can see money coming in, money coming out. And we basically approached everybody at the beginning and said, any money that's left over, we can go back to the people who put in the money and say, what do you want to do with it? It's been so successful that you want to give another 6 to 7 apprentices the same opportunity next year. So it'll be the same again. Apprentices 16 to 21 years old. We do the same application process and we start again, and there's a little bit of money in the pot to get it rolling. Or we just pick a charity, we pick a construction charity, and all the money pot just goes to the construction charity, and we just start to roll it again. So they'll get that chance and opportunity to decide what happens with the cash.
Nice. I mean, I think I'll speak for everybody, certainly on here and all the people listening, Ross, Robin, say just how awesome that is, and how, you know, to echo what Simon was saying before, just take your hats off for doing something so positive and proactive for the scaffolding industry and for the young people that are coming into it. It's going to be great. We're going to have to wrap this section here, and I want to just close it with a simple question for all of you, and we'll go around. Based on your experience, You will have to do what you're most looking forward to, Robbie. But for everybody else, what's the most memorable thing about ScaffChamps for you guys in one sentence? What would you say? Let's start with you, Simon, if I may. What's the most memorable thing about ScaffChamps for you?
Without a doubt, it's the connections and the people. It's like a big family reunion every year. You haven't seen each other for so long. You keep up to date with what they're doing online, but to see each other and network together, that's key for me.
Awesome. Ilya, what's ScaffChamps? What's the most memorable thing for you, buddy?
Maybe not most memorable thing, but maybe one of the most proudable thing for me is that the ScaffChamp is one of competition where everyone goes home smiling, even they didn't win. So I mean that ScaffChamp is a platform for not only for the battle, because some teams come to ScaffChamp just to have some fun. Some teams come just to destroy everything, But for us, it's a platform for network expanding, for building some relationship, partnership. So for me, this is like most valuable thing of the ScaffChamp.
Nice. Okay. Oleg, for you, one sentence. What's the most memorable thing for you?
Well, Ilya, just take my whole sentence, yeah?
I stole your, yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, besides that, I would also add the people who I met during the ScaffChamp, yeah, and because of ScaffChamp, we are right here, all of us, yes. So, and of course, I would say the most memorable thing was 3 years ago when we launched our first online stream with Christopher and Martin as the commentators, and I had no idea. When I just placed those two together in one room, and I said, well, you need to commentate something. Because, I don't know, here is the script, but but you will need to work, for example. And believe me, they did 9 hours of live stream, and they are doing this year after year, and the quality of stream are rising. So, but for me, it was most memorable.
Nice.
Thing, I think.
So, Ross, briefly, yours, mate. What's the most memorable thing?
It's become one of the highlights of my year now. It's something that I try and get booked in the calendar as soon as it comes out. Vilnius is up there now with one of my favourite cities, and it's good to get away and have an interest in scaffolding, but not have to have a commercial interest in it. So it's it's not my business. It's my hobby as well. So, and just tying in with people that you don't see every year. It's like a big reunion, like what Simon said. It's just a reunion, beers, chilled out, totally relaxed. It's like a spa weekend for scaffolding perverts.
I think we're going to have to end it on that note. I don't think we're going to get better than that in terms of what you're looking for. A spa weekend for scaffolding perverts, I think you just said, Russ. That's hilarious. And so, Robbie, what are you looking forward to most in one thing now? We've heard what people are best memories. What one thing are you looking forward to most, buddy?
I think just seeing people from different sort of backgrounds, different communities sort of come together and sort of put with our team, being selfish, but seeing how our team actually gel and work together. I think it's just to showcase what they can do.
Nice. Well, it'll be awesome because I guarantee that will definitely happen. I've been seeing it myself last year. That will definitely happen, and the teamwork and the spirit and the camaraderie, say that word, is there for all to see. It's really, really cool. So thank you, guys. Thank you for giving us such a brilliant insight into ScaffChamps this year and what it's going to be like. And Robbie, Ross, thank you for sharing your plans and all the cool stuff that you guys are doing. It's time for the next section of the show now. So I'm going to allow my co-host to do his special introduction. So without further ado, Simon.
Thank you, Benjamin. Well, I guess this is everybody's favourite segment where all the scaffolding crews around the world sit there on the edge of their seats because they don't know if they're going to be put up on a pedestal or if they're going to be torn to shreds. So what we do here is people can send through pictures of some amazing scaffolds from all around the world, and they can also send in some not so great scaffolds. So if you're walking down the street, you see something pretty terrible, send us a message, send it through to our email address, podcast@braceyourself.online, and we've got some pretty cool prizes that we'll be rolling out over the next few weeks. But without further ado, it's time for the penthouse to the doghouse. Right, Ben, let's start with the penthouse.
Yeah, why was you guys doing that?
Still working on that.
My dog's just started barking. Bless her. She's going nuts.
I've been talking to a trademark lawyer through the week to get that trademark so nobody else can steal it.
So I picked this picture, Simon. This is saw on LinkedIn this week, and I loved it because it's not just the scaffold, which is over a 6-lane motorway on the M5 in the southwest, but it's also the atmosphere and the kind of the whole landscape that the scaffolding's in. It's cool, right? Isn't it a fantastic picture?
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, it's a nice moody picture, though.
Yeah, so for the people sitting in their car on their way to drop their kids off at school that can't see the picture, jump onto the YouTube, jump onto the TikTok and Facebook, you'll be able to see it. But amazing photo there. So who was this photo from, Ben?
This is from TRS Group in Bristol. Our good friends, Stuart, business run by our good friend Stuart Salmon. But I know firsthand the complexity and the difficulty that went into this job. Obviously, planning the erection and delivery of a scaffold over a motorway. You've done infrastructure projects like this before, Robbie and Ross, Simon. You guys know this firsthand, right? You can picture what's difficult about it and all the things that go into it. For people listening online and can't see it, this is a bridge over a bridge. A bridge over a motorway. There's 6 lanes of traffic below, and the scaffold's cantilevering up and out, down and round the parapet of the bridge over the top. And it's just really, really cool. And it's set in an environment with a beautiful atmospheric skyline behind it. And one of the things I thought was cool, and you guys at Scaffolders will relate to this, is one of the things about the perspective that scaffolders often see the world by. Right? You get to see views of the world from high up on scaffolding that not many people get to see. And I thought this was a nice way of talking about that too, right? Because I imagine you guys have been in some really crazy places and seen some really amazing views as well, right?
Yeah, that's right. And projects of that scale, there's that many different stakeholders involved. That it's just an absolute nightmare to try and get it all coordinated, communicate everything between everyone, and to be able to deliver it safely without any delays. That's credit to the guys who built it. Well done.
So this next one I'm going to share. So why don't
we've
you
gone
just
from the penthouse,
give
we've
us
looked
an
at the best
overview
of the best. Now
for this one, Simon.
Let's go into the
Simon.
the
Hold on, Simon. Hold on. I haven't got that one squared up. You have to wait. I've got another one. Why don't you tell us about this one? Because there's another penthouse shot. Tell us where this one's at, buddy.
This one here, I saw on LinkedIn earlier today. I was trolling through, having a look through the local posts, and saw that picture there. Company in New Zealand, Wellington Scaffold, I think was the name of the company that delivered it. Mate, just an amazing job. It's got more braces in that than my ex-girlfriend. It's the spans across the lower roofs into the temporary roof. Just an incredible build. So I'd really be interested to see how the guys actually built this, if they built that truss section on the ground and then craned it in, or if they built it all in cantilever. I think it's just a really cool job.
Yeah, it is. System scaffold always looks really good when it's neatly braced. You know, there's something really pleasing about the consistency and the uniform nature of it, right? It's just something about, I mean, scaffolding in general like that, but I always love that. It makes it, for someone that's detail focused, I just always love how that scaffolds like that look. Okay, Simon, tell us a bit about what happens next. What's the doghouse all about, mate?
Yeah, well, we've gone to the pinnacle. Now we're going to come back down to reality. And we all know that not all scaffolders and all scaffolds built out there are, let's say, ethical. There's a few out there that are a little questionable, that give other scaffolders a bad name. So we're gonna highlight it. We're gonna talk about it. Nobody ever wants their photos to end up in this segment because it's going to get torn to shreds. So hopefully none of our guest scaffold will ever end up in this segment.
This gravity-defying structure, I think, is testament to just how strong scaffolding is. Now, in a previous conversation, Ross said to me, he said, I've done my years as a tube and fitting scaffolder. And now I'm not for 1 minute suggesting this is the kind of thing you put up, Ross, but why don't you give us the 30-second version of justifying that tube and fitting scaffolding as if it was your own? Ready? Go.
I could maybe justify the price. So this is probably what you get when the client phones you and asks if you can do the job for 300 quid. That's what you get that's what 300 quid buys you. If you pay 600 quid, we might put double guardrails on it. 750, you get a ladder, but for 300 quid, that's what you're getting.
I reckon your apprentices could
It looks
definitely
a little
do a
bit
better
off
job
the
than
case
that,
of,
mate.
I've got
After 1 hour of training.
Scaffolder who could do it.
Yeah. or is this the reason why Scotland is now predominantly system scaffold?
Oh, mate, that looks like
It's surely been battered by a storm. We're on day 43, I think, of rain just now in Scotland. It's surely been battered by a storm.
That looks like the east wing of Andrew's mansion. You know what I mean? I mean, were you having some renovation work done there, Rob? All right.
That was Robbie's time. That's one of Robbie's time trials for ScaffChamp.
Is that a time of motion study for the lads?
That was the lads who didn't make it, done that.
Did that guy get
sorry lads, you never got in the team.
Oh, that's brilliant. That's brilliant. Sorry you didn't make it. Why have you got a sideboard on it?
Yeah, nice one that, isn't it?
Oh, man. Brilliant. All right, let's have a look at the next one. So here's the next one. I'll zoom in. Nice piece of system scaffold. Simon, you've I imagine, built quite a few mobile system scaffolds in your time. So why don't you give us the 30-second justification of this fantastic example of quality scaffolding. Ready? 3, 2, 1, go.
Well, I think I'm not really sure why this is in the actual doghouse, to be honest. When you sent this through and said we were going to go through this one, I thought maybe you'd accidentally sent me the penthouse rather than the doghouse, because it's clearly done by somebody with a lot of experience. Like that plank that's going across the across that void there, that's a structural beam, clearly engineered by somebody in the UK. I think the top of the picture's cut off a little bit. You can't see the guardrails, so let's just assume that they're there because no one would build it without it. Safe access on and off. There's no opportunity for anybody to fall off down that void. So I think all in all, whoever built it should probably get their tool belt and go and throw it in the fire.
You're just ready for someone to kick it, aren't you, and it fall off that thing. I'm like, I wondered, is that a pile of bricks? Is that just a tower of bricks that corner scaffold is piled on?
Yeah, it looks like it.
Must be all right because it must be full bricks.
The engineering bricks.
One of your designs, Ben, is it?
The
Oh,
structural
mate,
bricks.
I'd be proud of that. You'd get 30 pages of calculations to prove that off me, that's standing up. Absolutely, all day. I think you guys did really well
the
there,
plasma
lads.
tower's been built by someone who knows what they're doing because the first ledger's on sideways. That's someone who's trained. It just falls in the way if you don't do it like that. So they're definitely a plasma ticket.
So when you lean against it,
I was trying to
falls
figure
off.
out what that was there. That there's like off the nearest standard. Go up, just put the base collar. Then there's like a little tube coming out, and I wonder whether it was rope or something, kind of tying the ledger down. Thank you everybody for joining us. If you liked the penthouse to the doghouse feature and would like to get involved, we hope that you do. As Simon said earlier, you can send your pictures in via our Facebook page, or you can email them to us at podcast@braceyourself.online. The email will be on the screen now, so if you can see it, and if not, just make a note of it in your head. Everything's cool, but don't take your hands off the wheel if you're driving. Thank you to our guests for joining us. You have been absolutely fantastic. To Ross, Robbie, Oleg and Ilya coming all the way from Lithuania. Thank you, guys. You were fantastic. Thank you to Awesome for doing a great job with us to help us put this together. Thank you to our sponsors and supporters. We couldn't do it without you. And, of course, our listeners for being here with us. You are the in crowd in the scaffolding community. And I'm going to leave you this time with inspiration from Ross's clip he sent me just before we started this show, where he basically said, "Until next time, it's brace yourself."
We just need them big red buzzers and just start hitting it.
Never had any production bonus for like fireworks or nothing, so it was pretty basic.
He can't even get his camera working, never mind fireworks.
Mate, that was an absolute cluster.